Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do Gunslinger Spawn, issue number 3 by Image Comics, made by Todd McFarlane, Brett Booth, and a guy called Corona. Who is that? Is that a colorist or an inker? Adelso Corona. That's actually a name. Okay, let's move on. So we see this angel called I don't know, and he talks about the fact to the people that are in the room that they want to focus their attention or kill or deal with spawns that came from the void, and with the void they mean that they came from the past. And I mean, Gunslinger Spawn came from the west. He is being transported through the present for reasons, along with other spawns, I guess, that I don't know who, maybe medieval spawn, because he is also in this universe. It says that you have to read Spawn Universe 1 to, get a little bit of a grasp. But I don't, so I'm not going to buy everything to. I mean, this is a new comic, right? Well, pretty new. So for me as a new reader, I mean, new Gunslinger Spawn reader, I don't want to go to every Spawn comic book to know what's going on. I don't want to do that. I've been there because if I'm going to do that, I know myself. I'm going to collect issue 2, collect issue 3, 4, 5, and then, before I know it, I got already 100 comics that probably I really don't want. Maybe. Anyway, so these angels and demons have plans, and they are bringing in another person, if you can call her that, in their fold. It's called Dakota, and she is very powerful. She has some, I don't know, creatures that can deal with hell spawns. But it seems that, and this name is Fierce or something, and this guy is called Cyrus. And she is basically belittling him a bit. But they are moving on. And they says, just do yourself a favor, Cyrus. Stay out of our way, just for a little while, and you will be handsomely rewarded. So there's some uneasy faction going on, and so Cyrus is going angry away, and Fierce throws her a picture of Taylor, and he says, look for this guy. He's part of the Bartlett bloodline, and as we know from the issue number 2 from my last video. Bartlett plays a big part in Hellspawn's past and current day situation. Basically, they are scum of the earth, according to him, and they did something there in his past. Not sure what. Meanwhile, here in the present, Taylor, is curious about why Spawn or Gunslinger. Wants to get out of here. He says, my dad just died and you still haven't told me what's going on, and I just, go with you to somewhere because why? And he says, are you that thick? He said, your dad and them angels wanted to kill you. That's all you need to know. And he basically said that if he's not going to do that, what he wants him to do, because basically he wants to protect him, he's going to end up dead. And there's other angels and demons coming to this place to, eradicate Spawn and him. But Taylor says, he says, I know you're a little bit slow-minded, but I didn't figure you for someone who was scared of things. And, well, that was a little bit a bridge too far. So Spawn lectures him, and he says, I ain't scared, you little shit. I'm trying to save your life. You're just too stupid to know the difference. And you want to die, that's fine by me. But he says, and he throws him a bag, and he says, I need to have a few things, some mad provisions, anything that he needs. And Taylor says, Christ, you're as bad as them. But, Gunslinger is not really interested in his anger and his opinions. He just wants to go back to his time and deal with whatever happened there. And he holds a big grudge against the Bartlett family and probably other demons as well. So they're going back to Taylor's job or work. It's some kind of a gas station. And he says, yeah, they have some drinks, some foods and whatever for on the road, and flashlights, batteries, that kind of stuff. And he says, "Give me that map," he says. And the Taylor said, "I thought you couldn't read. It's a map. You just look at it." But then he hears a sound and he immediately reacts in a very violent way, and he says, "Yeah, you idiot! I was about to blow your head off. What was that anyway?" And Taylor says, "So well, it's a microwave bell telling me my burrito is done cooking." And says, "You want one?" He says, "Yeah, sure." And he throws them, and then just like Spawn, or how do you say, a symbiote, if you will, the mask slips off his face, and then we see according to the narrative, that we okay, I'm going to read it. For the first time, Taylor sees this strange man that looks like to be of Hispanic descent. Not sure why the mentioning of a race is actually important, but hey, we live in, modern days, 2022, etc., and everything before and around that to a certain time period, let's say 2016. I believe then that's all these crazy things are going to happen until now. We need to mention race for, I don't know, social reasons, virtue points. I don't know. But hey, it's just very minor. It's not distracting. It's not intruding or something. I admit I'm being soured because of the whole thing of race and race, not race, what race? I lost my train of thought. And, that's not important at all. So it doesn't matter if he's Hispanic or, come from the Philippines or Mayan descent or Japanese or, Jewish descent or German descent. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. For me, it's important that I just like this character, or I find this character interesting. Race doesn't matter. Not to me, anyway. So Taylor says, "Here, put some shade on. You look like a badass." And then Spawn says, "Well, it makes everything dark." And he says, "Yeah, well, that's the point." Anyway, so they are going on the trip, but they need to go somewhere first because he knows a place because he looked in the map. And he says, "I buried weapons in a crate into the ground." They're going there, and Spawn is shoveling. They're using a shovel to get the crate. And he says, Taylor says, "So you bury guns all over the place?" And he says, "Not just guns, and it seems that he has some dozens of other crates, spreading across this country or place where they are now for emergency." And Taylor then finds out that it says it's why you came to kill my dad, wasn't it? You were just using me. Things had to be done, he says. And because Spawn says, they have to flee because of the angels are coming. But he says, but it can be near any of your kin. They're going to look here first. You need to hide out on your own. Your dad and his family being part of this scheming for centuries. They won't let this go. And Taylor says, "I hate you. What am I supposed to do now? How am I going to pay for things?" And he throws him some golden coins. And he says, "This probably is worth something." So he drops off Taylor in some kind of a motel. And he says, "Well, maybe it matters, but you call me Yavi." Actually, that's a cool name. I think maybe that's a normal name from people from that area. I don't know, but yeah, I like that. Yavi is a cool name. And so Spawn has decided to sleep elsewhere because he's waiting for those who comes. So he's going to a spot, waits for a day, and then those who are after him comes. And we also see Dakota here, and she introduces herself. She says, I'll get straight to the point. We're making plans, and from what I'm told, you could be very useful towards some of those problems. Towards some of those. Problem is, I've seen plenty of heroes that didn't live up to the hype. Are you the real deal? Spawn doesn't say anything, but he is prepared for what's to come. And, they attack him, and he immediately, grabs him and kills them on the spot. And she says, "No, you do live up to hype. Do live up to the hype." But then she says, "You put that gun away. Your necro bullets don't work on me." And she shows that she has already a couple bullets in her head, and that trick didn't work. But then her small prehistoric creatures are growing, and they attack Spawn. But his weapons are basically, useless. Those creatures are attacking him, and they get hurt, but it doesn't faze them or anything. And they are basically ripping him apart. So yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I like that. Our quote-unquote hero, he's not a hero, but you know what I mean, is not invincible or, can do anything. He has a lot of weaknesses, and when some things is not working, he's going to reach out to his knife or a TNT. How do you say? Is it TNT or? Yeah, I believe it's so. So he throws it, and but it didn't work. These creatures are just standing there, fire, explosions, nothing works, and he says, "What are you?" And the creatures immediately attack him again, and he is now way out of his depth. He's getting his ass kicked, and then he sees a familiar face. Well, not familiar to him, but familiar face for us who, remember a certain villain from the Spawn comic, in the early days. You know him as the Clown. And he is going to be into, this next issues. But we see something different here. We see small clowns. I mean, these are his original form, but then, smaller. We have Violator, and we have the clown itself. But what happened? Who are they? What's the story behind it? We're going to find out next issue. Guys, thank you so much for watching. What does this mean? Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.